C4NPR Chats. I'm here with Nicole Linerati, and we're also here with Rachel Ramjattan. Did I get that right, Rachel?
You did. Top points for you.
I've been practicing. So those of you who have joined episodes with us before know that we have the opportunity to speak with presenters and experts who are coming into town, give you a chance to get to know them. And Rachel will be here on March the 4th, so we'll talk a little bit about the logistics at the end. But Rachel, are you ready to jump right in?
I'd love to.
Great. So Rachel, you've observed many nonprofit leaders over the years. We know that from your experience. What's the biggest risk of somebody being too busy but not knowing what to do to lighten the load?
You know, it really is sustainability. If you're too busy to focus on the things that matter in terms of generating enough money to keep your nonprofit going, then pretty soon you run out of money and you don't have a nonprofit anymore. So it's very easy for the important to get devoured by the urgent. You know, those day-to-day fires that come up. And so if you're in the habit of putting out fires and letting the urgent devour the important, which is long-term important, then you can find yourself in trouble. And that's why this class is so helpful, because it's going to teach you to set boundaries and how do you organize your time to make sure that the things that really matter long-term get done. And you will be surprised to find out that sometimes the things that are so urgent really aren't that urgent at all, because when you're not available to put out the fire, somebody else figures it out.
Right. Yeah, very wise words.
So something that I'm thinking about, Rachel, is, are there telltale signs of burnout or that people have too many plates spinning? Because we want to make sure in marketing that people are looking at themselves and saying, hey, I need to come see this. I'm doing this, this, and this. What are the signs?
Well, if you've ever felt like you end your day with more items on your to-do list than you started with, that's usually a pretty good indicator. But there's some others too, you know, like I can remember when I went through the fire and was facing burnout myself, I would wake up in the morning and think, shoot, I gotta go to work again today.
Okay.
And so you find that you're so overwhelmed that you don't have the time to savor the impact of the work you're doing and to enjoy it. And that's not sustainable long-term either. And so, you know, one of the things that I have really worked on, and I'm still a work in progress, I should tell you, I have not mastered it yet, is finding a way to carve out very specific boundaries. For example, when I'm with my family, I'm with my family. You know, over dinner time, nothing happens. You know, it's me and them. Because you want to focus on what's important. At the end of the day, nobody gets to their life and says, gee, I wish I'd worked more. You know, what they say is, gee, I wish I had spent more time with my family or more time traveling. And so signs of burnout come in terms of being stressed. Sometimes they take physical things like panic attacks, which I also used to suffer from before I got good at this. And then obviously the feeling of overwhelm, that just you feel like you can't dig yourself out.
So sometimes, I'm sure you've seen this too, some people are so far into the weeds, they can't even tell if they have too many plates spinning. So how can someone tell if they have too many plates spinning at the same time?
Well, one telltale sign is missed deadlines. You know, so if you're working on projects, usually they'll have some kinds of deadlines associated with them. And if you're missing deadlines, that tells you that, hey, there could be a problem here, you know? Or if you're working more than 50 hours a week, that should usually tell you you've got more than enough plates in the air. And you know, it really becomes a matter of paring down and starting to take a look at yourself and say, you know, I'm not a martyr and I might be a chief everything officer, but it doesn't mean that I'm the only one who can do a lot of these things. That's when you really start to take a look at it and say to yourself, what is it about my day? What are the tasks that only I can do that I could never give to someone else, you know? And then you start to figure out, well, gee, there might be a better way to do this.
Yeah. Great.
So what are some easy ways, because now we know we've all been, you know, had too many plates spinning and felt burnout. What is an easy way, a strategy for a professional to say no?
That's a good question. Depends on who's doing the asking, right?
Right.
If it's a board, there's no easy way to say no. You know, it really depends on what relationship you have with the person who's making the request of your time. If the person's in a position of authority over you, like an executive director that is being pushed by the board to do more, it may be a matter of asking the board member to help you prioritize your work, to say, look, these are the things that are on my plate. I understand that it's important to you that we do this as well. So where in the list of priorities do you think this fits? In other words, what can I let slide off my plate in order to make room for this? And pretty soon they realize, oh, this really isn't a reasonable request, or you might say, is there another way we can help to get that done? So it might be that you have a co-worker or another board member that could do most of the assist with a little guidance from you. And no, so that's the hard one. It's easier to say no to people that work for you. I have to tell you, I have been a supervisor. It's not a role that I enjoy, which is probably why I don't do it anymore. But as a supervisor, there's some staff members that will come to you with everything because it's easy. They want the easy answer and the quickest way to solve a problem. And we hamstring their growth when we do that. Sometimes if you let people struggle a little bit, they figure it out, and in the process they grow rather than spoon feeding them. So the other way I say no is I don't answer emails for things I think that they can figure out on their own with time, because if you're unavailable and you don't answer, then they're going to figure something out, and if they make a mistake, that's okay too. They're learning.
I like that.
Well, that's a great segue to our final question today. So how is the relationship with the board impacted by the executive director's ability to manage all the spinning plates?
That's a great question. And again, it depends from one board to another. If you have a good board, they're going to sense when your plate is overloaded, when you ask for help. And if you try to do it all yourself, they're never going to know that you're overwhelmed. So I would say don't be reluctant to share what's on your plate and ask them for help prioritizing or what can come off the plate. It will give them a window into your day, but always do it from a cooperative position. So with a little help from you, together we can do this. I just have too much on my plate to do it now. What you'll find is when you're more honest with board members about what it really takes in terms of work-life balance, they step up to help sometimes. Maybe not all, but you might have one or two that will step up. And if nothing else, you are setting the tone for your organization, and you need to hold fast with your board and say, at our organization, what we value is work-life balance. So I push all my employees to make sure that they're not burning out, that they're taking care of their families, because when they're happy at home, they're going to be more productive at work. And I can't hold them accountable for something that I'm not accountable for myself. And therefore, that's the board. I need your backing to make sure that I don't have much on my plate.
That's great.
That's a great way to frame it.
Well, Rachel, you really packed in so much great wisdom and help in such a short time. So if you are going to be in the Toledo area and you're interested in joining Rachel, she's doing 2 half-day sessions on March the 4th. And the first one is really a focus on you as the executive director and trying to effectively manage all those spinning plates. And the afternoon is really about building effective and winning boards. So you can visit our website at c4npr.org and get registered for one or both. So thank you very much, Rachel.
Oh, thank you for having me. I can't wait to meet you and all your nonprofit leaders locally.
Great, thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.